What is an election? An election is a formal process through which a population selects individuals to hold public office or decides on specific policy issues by voting. In a democratic system, elections are fundamental as they enable citizens to choose the leaders and representatives, ensuring that the government reflects the will of the people. Elections can vary from local to national levels, including general elections, primary elections, and referendums. They are characterized by the act of casting votes, either through paper ballots, electronic systems, or mail-in voting, and the process involves candidate nominations, campaigning, voter registration, voting, and counting of votes. The integrity and transparency of elections are crucial for maintaining public trust in the democratic system. Why is an election? Elections are vital for the functioning of democratic societies. They serve multiple purposes: representation, accountability, legitimacy, and participation. Through elections, citizens choose representatives who make decisions on their behalf, ensuring that government policies reflect public preferences. Elections hold elected officials accountable, as they must perform well to be re-elected. This process grants legitimacy to those in power, as their authority stems from the people's consent. Additionally, elections encourage civic engagement and participation, fostering a sense of involvement and responsibility among citizens. By providing a structured way to express opinions and make collective decisions, elections help maintain social stability and public order. Who coined an election? The concept of elections dates back to ancient civilizations, notably Greece and Rome. The term election is derived from the Latin word eligere, meaning to choose. In ancient Greece, the idea of citizens participating in decision-making processes was central to their political system, particularly in Athens. The Athenian democracy, established around the 5th century BCE, is often credited with formalizing the practice of elections. In Rome, elections were used to choose various public officials, including senators and consuls. Although the exact individual who coined the term is unclear, the practice of elections evolved through these early democratic systems, shaping the foundational principles of modern electoral processes. When did an election begin? Elections began in ancient times, with one of the earliest known examples being in ancient Athens around the 5th century BCE. The Athenian democracy allowed male citizens to vote on laws and policies directly. In Rome, elections were used to select officials such as consuls and senators, contributing to the governance of the Roman Republic. Over time, the concept of elections spread and evolved, influencing the development of democratic practices in other parts of the world. In the modern era, elections became more structured and widespread, with significant milestones like the establishment of universal suffrage in various countries throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. Where was the first election introduced? The first recorded elections were introduced in ancient Athens, Greece, around the 5th century BCE. Athens is renowned for developing one of the earliest known democracies, where eligible citizens could participate directly in decision-making processes. This early form of democracy allowed male citizens to vote on various issues, including laws and policies, and to elect officials such as generals and magistrates. The Athenian system laid the groundwork for modern democratic practices, emphasizing the importance of citizen participation in governance. The concept of elections later spread to other civilizations, including the Roman Republic, which also utilized elections to choose public officials. How did the election work? In ancient Athens, elections were conducted through a direct democracy where eligible citizens, specifically free adult males, gathered to vote on issues and elect officials. Voting was often done by a show of hands or using pieces of broken pottery called ostraka for specific votes, such as ostracism. In Rome, elections were more structured, with citizens voting for various offices, including consuls, tribunes, and senators. Voters were divided into groups, and each group's majority decision determined its vote. Modern elections have evolved significantly, involving secret ballots, voter registration, multiple voting methods, paper, electronic, mail-in, and rigorous counting and verification processes to ensure fairness and transparency. Which election type is used generally? The most common type of election used generally is the general election. General elections are held at regular intervals to elect representatives to national or state legislatures. For example, in the United States, general elections for Congress and the President occur every 2 and 4 years, respectively. These elections involve the entire eligible voting population and are crucial for determining the composition of government and its leadership. Different countries may use various electoral systems within general elections, such as first-past-the-post, proportional representation, or mixed systems to elect their representatives. General elections are fundamental to democratic governance, providing citizens with the opportunity to influence government policy and leadership. Impact of an election. Elections have a profound impact on society and governance. They determine the leadership and composition of government bodies, influencing policy decisions and the direction of national and local affairs. Elections provide a mechanism for peaceful transitions of power, reducing the likelihood of political instability and conflict. They also empower citizens by giving them a voice in the political process, fostering a sense of accountability among elected officials. Furthermore, elections can drive social change by highlighting and addressing key issues such as healthcare, education, and economic policy. The outcomes of elections can have long-term effects on a country's development, international relations, and overall well-being. Importance of an election. Elections are crucial for maintaining the principles of democracy. They enable citizens to choose their leaders, ensuring that the government reflects the will of the people. Elections promote accountability, as elected officials must perform well to secure re-election, thus driving them to act in the public's best interest. They also provide legitimacy to the government, as those in power are elected through a fair and transparent process. Furthermore, elections encourage political participation and civic engagement, fostering a sense of responsibility and belonging among citizens. By allowing for the peaceful transition of power and resolving political conflicts through voting, elections help maintain social stability and cohesion. Conclusion. In conclusion, elections are a fundamental aspect of democratic governance, providing a structured mechanism for citizens to choose their leaders and influence policy. Originating in ancient Greece and evolving through the centuries, elections have become the cornerstone of modern democratic systems worldwide. They ensure representation, accountability, legitimacy, and participation, which are essential for a functioning democracy. Despite challenges such as voter turnout, security, and misinformation, the impact and importance of elections remain significant. They shape the direction of governments, drive social change, and empower citizens. Understanding and participating in elections is crucial for the health and sustainability of democratic societies.